Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our weekly talk show, Talking Point, from our London studios. In our studio today, we have a guest, Mr. Badlur Rashid, MBE. Mr. Rashid came to London in 1978, and since then, he has worked hard, provided his business leadership, and established himself as a name and a brand in the curry industry, in his different business areas like property, medical care, travel, tourism, and many other fields that we will explore within the next hour or so. Welcome to the show, Mr. Badlur Rashid. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving us your time and traveling all the way from Ashford, Kent.
Ashford, Kent, yes.
It's a beautiful place.
You're most welcome anyway. Thank you.
Inshallah, one day we will. You came to London in 1978 and you joined a family business with your brother, and very soon you had established yourself and you had about 15 restaurants running in such a short time. What was the success of this success? What was the secret of this success?
First of all, Niyaz bhai, thank you very much. I'm just repeating myself again actually to invite me here, talk to
It's a pleasure.
Talk to the NTV about my journey. I came to UK in 1978, and I started from Dover. As you mentioned, I started business and everything with my brothers, especially my major bhai. And well, I came here for a further education.
Right.
That was the main idea. And there was a little bit of medical issue was, as well. So when I came, I see my brother is doing a restaurant business. Same time I started joining a few colleges in a part-time courses.
Right.
And I see he's quite struggling, running his business.
Yes.
And I see there is a lot of potential in that restaurant business. So within a short time I joined my brother. I was very fortunate because my brother was already kind of established, but wasn't as established as we were later on. And because of the industries, I check everything, that how do I start? Do I join my brother as a restaurant, or do I do something else, or shall I just continue with my studies and do something different? End of the day, I chose and be a restaurateur with my brother, and that's how I started journey. I have another brother who is my elder brother. He also.
And he was here already.
They're all here much longer than before. They came here in 1965, and my father came here in 1957.
MashaAllah.
So I came very late anyway. And I asked my elder brother, how come you join and I also join together with my brother who is doing the restaurant business, and he is very, knowledgeable guy. He was very talented, he was very smart, and I thought together we can make our family business successful.
Right.
And that's why we joined the restaurant business. And within a short time, we are opening branches everywhere, throughout Kent, Southeast London, North London.
Obviously, there was a great demand for such food, isn't it?
That time it was. But always there was a staff issue.
Yes.
Always there was a staff. Even then was a staff issue. Why? Because those days, our restaurant in outside London, not much of our community were there.
Right.
So we used to recruit the professional chefs and waiters from London, they're not always ready to go outside working.
Right.
So there was a shortage. But there was a lot of loyal people those days. And because of our loyal staff, which is, I always say they're my colleagues,
Right.
you know, we had a huge bonding. Everybody worked with us. We took them as a partner and end up in a 15 restaurant altogether. We are running 10 restaurants all the time for a long time together, but we had a 15 restaurant together. And that's how we've been successful.
Well, when did you decide to branch out into other fields like property and tourism industry?
That's after.
After
After the the successful within the restaurants, within all the restaurants we opened, and then we decided to go to property. And property, especially with my brother, property was our main idea.
Was it in this country or back home?
Back home we always had a property that was there, but in here, although we are running a restaurant, but almost every restaurant we used to own, that was freehold. Idea was behind the scene, because in future we will be in the property business.
Right.
Because when everybody started in the restaurant business in this country, most of the people actually never had a freehold restaurant. They started with a leasehold,
yes.
and still a lot of leasehold. But our idea was to have a freehold, because we want to go into a property business,
yes.
which is my brother was also very much focusing on it. And I know these days there are a lot of property tycoon within our community, which is very proud. But those days there wasn't much of us.
People did not think of it like that.
No, they never think like that.
They thought of one business running.
One business running, and just open a restaurant, send money home, and do something, probably another restaurant, but not really thinking for the future properly. What will be the future of this country? What is going to be the future business of this country? They never thought. Whoever thought, they are very successful, but not everybody.
You opened your first restaurant in 1980. That was somewhere in Dover, isn't it?
No, actually the first restaurant which I joined with my brother, it was 1978, you see. But from 80, actually, where is branching out, where is my, where I can say, my venture, and together, of course, but my venture, where I started opening restaurant different places.
And you named it Curry Garden.
Curry Garden. It was like a Curry Garden chain everywhere, you know.
And then by 1980, 1993, you had several restaurants with your brother and yourself.
Yeah, several restaurants by then, yeah.
And in 1993, you established a commodity business of rice and spice.
Yeah, I thought, because my idea was, because which is now everybody is doing, not everybody, a lot of people are doing it. I thought, because we have so many restaurants ourselves, also our friends have a lot of restaurants. So if I can open a wholesale cash and carry rice and spice and commodity business, then we will supply our own business as well as our colleagues and friends. Then
you'll cut the middleman out.
Yeah, cut the middleman out, and in the running a restaurant, it will be more profit margin, as you said, middleman out. So I ran it for quite a long time, but because of the lack of manpower, actually in the end I stopped. But it is still in my mind. It is still in my mind that to continue that business, I restart this business again.
Inshallah, inshallah. By 1993, you had established yourself very well. And then I see that in 2006, you became the president of Bangladesh Caterers Association, which is the main organization of Bangladeshi caterers, as I see. How many restaurants were there in 2006 when you became the president of BCA?
Actually, when I became the president of BCA back in 2006, in 10th of December, as far as I remember, it was still, the statistics was roughly about 12,000 restaurant then. But actually, I give you another statistic. Our organization, which is the Bangladesh Caterer Association, actually established when we were Pakistan, you know, East Pakistan and West Pakistan together.
Right.
Used to call Pakistan Caterers Association.
That's PCA.
Which is established back in 1960. And those days, it was only 300 restaurants.
Owned by Bangladeshis.
Owned by Bangladeshis. And because of these organizations creating the entrepreneurship, now look, 12,000, more than 12,000 restaurants everywhere.
Right.
And when I become the president, you just mentioned in your brief that this is the largest. Actually, this is the largest, strongest, and most oldest
And
organization outside Bangladesh.
Most representative.
And more representative and very powerful organization. Because whenever we talk to our high official, mainstream, we find enough strength because 12,000 restaurants we own, we employ 150,000 people directly, 250,000
You
people.
represent the majority. And you represent billions of pound sterling turnover every year.
Every year, 4.2 billion pounds sterling we contribute to the British economy. 250,000 directly, indirectly worked with our industry. We don't depend on the government. So we feel very strong.
Yes.
And that's why we always successfully lobbying so far. Although a lot of the high official, a lot of ministers, unofficially, they says, endorse our lobbying. They say that you are lobbying very successfully, but because of a lot of immigration issues, you are not always getting what you want, but keep on lobbying.
Right. I mean, keep on hammering, and one day the door will open.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. On this point, Bazlur Rashid Bhai, we will stop for a little while for our commercial break, and then we come back, we will definitely continue with this very interesting journey of yours into business world. And obviously, you are a lighthouse for most young businessmen. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll come back soon. Don't go away.